welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the fragrances in my collection I fell in love with at first sniff. The moment I smelled them, I immediately loved them right away. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't care about the notes. I just smelled them and I was like, wow, my mind was blown. I have about 20 fragrances here. I have a lot of fragrances that I fell in love with right away, you guys, but I don't want to talk about 40 different fragrances, you know what I mean? So I picked the 20 that I thought were a good representation for those that I loved at first sniff. So I'm going to quickly talk about them. I'm not going to go deep into the notes and accords or anything like that. So if you guys want to see what they are, just stay tuned. Before we get into this video, you guys, please take a minute to hit that subscribe button because it really does help me grow my channel. And when I grow my channel, it helps you guys because I get to create bigger and better content, you guys. It really helps me out. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. We have a lot of fun over there. So let's get right to these fragrances. So I'm gonna start with two fragrances that I know were loved at first sniff. In fact, the moment I smelled them for the first time is caught on camera. It was in one of my videos. Actually, I was testing luxury fragrances. I will put it right up here and down in the description box. Check that out, you guys. So one of them is Oud Rose Intense by Fragrance du Bois. You guys, this fragrance, oh man, there's something so special about this fragrance. It's very luxe, very sophisticated, very rich smelling fragrance. However, it's not a dense fragrance at all. It's very ethereal, very light, very airy, very fresh. It's a fresh rose fragrance. Believe it or not, it's actually an oud rose fragrance. How often do you smell an oud rose fragrance that isn't dense? It's not like in your face. It's rather very sophisticated, very classy. You know, there is no mint here, so don't get me wrong at all. There's no mint and it does not smell like mint, but there is a mint-like freshness in this fragrance, which is so hard to describe. My guess is that it comes from the mix between the rose and geranium and the other notes maybe they have not revealed. I smell something fresh in here. It's hard to pinpoint what that is, but it's not mint, however, but it's actually a rose oud fragrance, like I said. But the oud in here, you guys, it doesn't smell like your average oud that you smell in oudy fragrances. It's not that. It's not that oriental sort of Middle Eastern oud either, which there's nothing wrong with that. I very much appreciate that kind of oud as well. It's very like strong, you know, it's got that very nice oriental vibe. That's a whole other category, but the oud in here is very clean and crisp, very crisp. I don't think you usually use those two words with oud, really, right? It's a woody note that's very pungent, is not the word. Woody note that's very distinct, right? It smells like $1,000,000. I just love the way it smells. I like to wear this to high tea, you know, occasions like that. If I'm going to a very elegant function, I would say this is something you can wear throughout the day. It's a very light fragrance that would really work well even in hot weather. So refreshing, so different. This is Fragrance du Bois Oud Rose Intense. And its sister here from the same fragrance house, Fragrance du Bois, this is Oud Jaune Intense. You guys, this thing here is the best yellow floral fragrance, yellow white floral fragrance I have, oh my God, I couldn't even finish my sentence, I have ever smelled. It is so bewitching, hypnotic, and very addictive kind of fragrance. By the way, it's a real man killer. Men love this fragrance, including my husband. He can't stop smelling me when I'm wearing this fragrance. Oh my God, it's so good. There is like really beautiful yellow florals in here. I believe there's ylang ylang. There's a bunch of beautiful tropical fruity notes in here. There's ylang ylang for yellow floral. There's white florals like jasmine in here. Is there gardenia? I forget. Yeah, there are beautiful bunch of white and yellow florals in here with a bunch of exotic fruity notes. It's a very fruity floral oud fragrance. Again, it has that gorgeous clean oud of Fragrance de Bois. It is such a stunning, bewitching fragrance. The first time I smelled this, I was beside myself. It was so stunning the first time I smelled it. It's like I knew I had to have it. So yeah, this is Fragrance de Bois Oud Jaune Intense. The next fragrance is one of the latest fragrances that I added to my collection. It is from a house that I just adore. It's a house that specializes in musk fragrances. Yes, you guessed it, it's Narciso Rodriguez. Of course, this is the latest creation from the house. This is Narciso Ambree. Oh my lord, you guys. Did you ever guess that tropical yellow florals would go so well with musk? I didn't guess it until I smell this. This smells amazing. You know, it has that signature Narciso massive dose of musk with beautiful tropical yellow florals like Frangipani, which is my favorite, and Ylang Ylang. You know I diehard love those two yellow florals. There are a bunch of white floral notes in this fragrance as well. This is such a captivating, sexy, fashionable kind of, you know, tropical musky fragrance. I never thought of tropical going with musk so well, you guys. Musk is usually something that complement like winter, like fall type of fragrances. I know you get musk in any type of fragrance, but usually like a very smaller dose. If it's like a summertime type of fragrance, right? You don't get like a massive dose of musk with yellow florals, but that's what this is. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is so sexy. This is one of my husband's favorite fragrances on me. He just goes, ooh, you know, like he has a big reaction to this fragrance. I love wearing it. It's my favorite from the house. It has great projection, sillage, lasting power. You know I love Narciso fragrances. I love Narciso Rouge, Narciso by Narciso. Boy, name it. I have so many of them, but this really is my favorite from the house. This is Narciso Ambree. Next, I have a fragrance that's a no-brainer for being someone's love at first sniff. Really, it's such a beautiful masterpiece. This has two sisters too, and I love them as well. I love the original, but this is my favorite. I felt hard in love with this fragrance when I first sniffed it. This is Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusif, you guys. I love the original Delina as well. I think that was pretty close to a love at first sniff as well. But this one, there's something extra about this one, you know, the Exclusif. There's that heightened incense note in here. The original has incense too, but this one is a little bit more. This leans oriental, very, very sexy, very appropriate for a nighttime date. I would say this is better for nighttime period, really. You can wear this all year round, but nighttime, I would say. It's a little bit stronger than the original Delina, in my opinion. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous scent, you guys. Oh my gosh, this has the same notes as the original, but a little bit small differences. There's lychee, of course, which is an amazing fruity note that complement rose very well, especially Turkish rose, which is what this one has. This is such a beautiful feminine fragrance, you guys. This was definitely a love at first sight. I know many people love this fragrance. This is my favorite out of the three Delinas, which, by the way, I've compared before. I've done videos, dedicated videos for them and comparison videos. I'll link them up here and down in the description box. Yeah, this is Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusif. So the next fragrance is something very special to me. I bought it on our honeymoon. My husband and I went on our honeymoon to Paris, France. Oh my goodness, you guys, we had the best time. And I actually bought this fragrance, guess where? Inside Versailles, the palace. They had this fragrance sort of counter inside the palace, And I just knew, just looking at the bottle, I was gonna love it. And then I smelled and it was amazing. It reminds me of France. So this is actually got that scent memory attached to it. Every time I sniff it, I think of our honeymoon, about Versailles. It was such an amazing experience. This is Golden Dynasty Princess Marina de Bourbon, you guys. Oh my goodness. This thing, you guys, is, there it is. This is so, yeah, it's so French. It's so Paris, you know, like it's very fashionable smelling, very ladylike, very fashionable, very sexy, you know, like a very fashionable woman who dresses so well would wear this fragrance. And I thought it was so me. I wanted to make this my signature scent when I smelled it, and I thought, that's me, you know. It just really spoke to me. It's me, you know. This is what I want to smell like. It's such an amazing fragrance. Unfortunately, it's really difficult to get a hold of it here in this country. I have 2 bottles. I have a backup, so I have a backup upstairs as well, so I haven't looked for it quite yet. I actually ran out of the original one I bought, so this is like my second bottle, and then I have a backup. If you guys want this fragrance, be careful when you buy it. Make sure it's authentic. I know that some places now sell it, but they kind of look suspicious to me. But anyway, I would buy it from a trusted retailer. It's a very beautiful kind of rosy green fragrance. You would think that green isn't something that would be sexy, but yes, it is. It depends on the composition, you guys. This is a very light ethereal fragrance, kind of like Oud Rose Intense, very classy, very almost royal about it, really. It's a bit powdery. There are some powdery notes in here, I think like hyacinth and violet type powdery notes. It has a big dose of beautiful rose, and then there's musk in it and woody notes. I'm not gonna go into all the notes, but it's beautiful. This should be my signature scent. That it's just that I don't want to run out of the bottle. I juice sucked the heck out of the first bottle I had, and I just don't want to like go through it so fast, which is why I haven't made it my signature scent. But if I wanted to put myself in a bottle, this would be it. This is Golden Dynasty by Princess Marina de Bourbon. Speaking of memories, I think love at first sniff fragrances tend to have very strong scent memories attached to them as well, and a lot of nostalgia. I think, you know, that's why you remember them, and that's why they were love at first sniff. And maybe there were other factors that went into it. I don't know, you guys, maybe emotional factors. But anyway, this next fragrance is a vintage at this point. It's like 20 years old, maybe over 20 years old. I don't care, and it is from a house that is underappreciated in my opinion. I remember back in the day they were very popular for fragrances. I feel like this house doesn't get talked about anymore as much. And back in the day when they made fragrances, you guys, the compositions were super complex, and they revealed, I think, more notes like back then. Like they don't reveal notes anymore. They don't. So I think this is one of the cases, rare cases, where you know most of the notes in this fragrance, because they used to release almost all the notes back in the day. They don't do that anymore. Like you're lucky if you get 3 notes from the fragrance houses. But anyway, this one is a beautiful scent. It was my first real scent. This was gifted to me, someone who just actually saw me and just gave me this perfume, said, you know, you're very beautiful, I want you to have this. And it was like the first grown-up fragrance that I ever had. This is Safari by Ralph Lauren, you guys. I like Ralph Lauren fragrances, you guys. I really do. This fragrance is so complex, so beast mode, so unique. How can I even describe this fragrance? I know, there's one word. That's what my husband used to say too when he smelled this fragrance. It smells very exotic, very exotic. I don't know what other word to use to describe it. It has like all these complex amount of fragrance notes in here. I don't want to even go down the list. It's a very aromatic, green, kind of woody, floral, even, you know, there's citrus in here. Beautiful fragrance, you guys. Fragrance composition has like I don't know, like 20 notes they revealed. It's a very aromatic, balsamic, kind of green, floral. I know there are a bunch of like really interesting florals like Indian tagetes, which is kind of like a marigold type of floral note. And I know there's galbanum, there's blackcurrant, there are powdery notes like hyacinth, there's a bunch of white florals, there's rose, and then in the base you get like amber, there's like sandalwood, I believe, there's patchouli, there are other woody notes. It's a beautiful fragrance. Again, I'm not gonna go over all the fragrance notes, you guys, especially this one has like a ton revealed fragrance notes. This is a beautiful, this used to be my signature scent. I wore this all year. It shouldn't be worn all year, really. I think it's more appropriate for nighttime, and I think it would perform even better in colder months, but it actually can be worn during the warmer months as well, surprisingly, given how complex the juice is. And yeah, probably not a daytime fragrance. All year round, yes, but nighttime, I would say. Yeah, this is Safari by Ralph Lauren. Next I have two. It's the original and the flanker, so I'm just gonna group them together. These are the most beautiful night out fragrances I have ever known. This is none other than La Nuit Tresor and La Nuit Tresor à la Folie. Oh, you guys, you can't beat these two when it comes to fragrances that are perfect for going out. They're beautiful, they're very complex, very sweet. There's coffee in this one, beautiful fruity notes like pear, passion fruit, and there are gourmand notes like praline, caramel, vanilla. Oh man, does it get any better than that? There's coffee in here. It's stunning. It's a stunning fragrance. I would never be without this in my fragrance collection. I'll always wear this when I go out on dates, go out, period, at nighttime. It's a nighttime fragrance. This is La Nuit Tresor, and the sister à la Folie version is a vanilla dominant fragrance. That other one has vanilla too, but this one has a massive dose of vanilla. Vanilla is like the biggest accord in here. Oh, it's very sweet. It's delicious. It's got similar notes as the original, but there's no coffee in this one, I believe. There's a massive dose of vanilla in here, you guys. It is so yummy. It smells so sexy. It's like the quintessential night out fragrance. Both of them, actually. This is La Nuit Tresor and La Nuit Tresor à la Folie. Next, I have a fragrance that I talk about all the time, so I'm not gonna spend any time on this one, but you guys know I diehard love this. It was definitely a love at first sniff, not just for me, my husband as well. This is none other than Tiziana Terenzi Tabit. You guys, this one is the perfect beach vacation date night fragrance. Honestly, that's the best way to put it. There's coconut in here. There's a warm sand note in here. There are exotic florals. There are beautiful fruity notes. And there's literally a candy note in here. It's super sweet. Boy, this was in my top 10 sweet fragrances, super sweet fragrances in my collection video. Check that one out. I'll put it up there and down in the description box. Guys, this one is super sweet, but it's like a fragrance for a beach goddess. Like, I see myself wearing a long chiffon dress, walking on warm sand towards a 5-star resort for a dinner date, you know, that kind of fragrance. This one is one of the sexiest fragrances in my collection. My husband thinks it's super sexy too. This is Tiziana Terenzi Tabit. Next, I have a fragrance that I talk about also too much, so I'm not gonna spend too much time here. This one is a winter fragrance. It's the best cherry fragrance on the market, in my opinion. It's none other than Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This was definitely a love at first sniff. Man, oh man, it smells amazing. It's a super sweet fragrance. It's definitely very sweet. There's a massive dose of vanilla in here. There's cherry, of course. There's a big accord in here. It just smells divine, you guys. What can I say? It's perfect. The only problem is it doesn't last very long, but I don't mind respraying it. It's a perfect colder month fragrance. You can probably wear this day and night, but I would prefer to wear it at nighttime. This is Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This one also I talk about so much on my channel. Again, I'm not gonna stay here very long, but it's one of the best amazing gourmand fragrances in my collection. One of the very unique, most unique oud rose fragrances in my collection. Yes, you guessed it. This is Maison Lancome Oud Bouquet, you guys. This is what the bottle looks like. This is the 2016 formulation. I have both. I have 2014 as well. In my opinion, they smell slightly different. This one has more woody notes, I think. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. This is such a jammy, beautiful rose oud fragrance. The rose in here smells very jammy, syrupy. There's praline in here, there's rose, there's oud, obviously, there's vanilla. It's such a beautiful fragrance. Again, better for colder months because it's a beast. It's a beast mode fragrance. If you want to be noticed, wear this fragrance in the colder months. This is Lancome Oud Bouquet. The next one is another beautiful fragrance. I heard Jeremy Fragrance talk about this so many times, and boy, is this one of the sexiest fragrances for women out there, and it's unbeaten. It's still in my top 20 sexy fragrances for women. It's very, very feminine. It's very sexy. It's perfect for a woman. This is Girl of Now by Ellie Saab. I have the flankers as well, you guys, but I gotta tell you, the original has something about it. This is a almondy fragrance. This has a nice almond accord, and there's pistachio, which I adore, with a bunch of beautiful florals and fruity notes. This has orange blossom, magnolia, which is one of the most beautiful white florals. I believe there's almond on, in the middle and bottom, I think. And then this has pistachio in the opening. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, feminine, sexy date kind of fragrance. If you want to be noticed, like if you're going on a first date or something, this would be a really good one to wear. It's kind of one of my dumb reach fragrances. Like if I want to feel and smell sexy, without thinking, then I can grab it. This is Ellie Saab, Girl of Now. So the next fragrance I also talked about to death, you guys. You guys know this is one of my top date night sexy fragrances. It's one of my go-to date night fragrances. This is a flanker to the original. This version has cherry in it, which I think put it over the top, which is perfect. The cherry accord in here made it even sexier than the original. You know what I'm talking about. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal by Night. The original, yeah, it's nice, but it's nothing compared to this, you guys. There's something so sexy about this one. This is a sexy fragrance, kind of like La Nuit Tresor, but in a different way. Whew. I will always love this fragrance. I will never be without this in my collection. It was definitely love at first sniff. I was head over heels when I first sniffed this, and I was so glad I bought the biggest bottle. And yes, I wear this on date night all the time. This has white florals like tuberose, orange blossom. There's a big, massive cherry accord. This is like tonka bean and vanilla, so it's a very deep vanilla in here. There are some citruses. There's honey in it. It's a gorgeous, stunning, feminine, sexy fragrance. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal by Night. So the next fragrance, you guys know, has been a love of mine. It's been my signature fragrance. It was my signature fragrance for a very long time. It's gorgeous. It comes from a line that I adore. I actually own each and every one of the fragrances from this particular line from this house. It's none other than a Giorgio Armani Si Entente, you guys. This is the older formulation. They came out with a new one. Guess what I did? I bought it too. It's gonna be in my next haul video, you guys. Stay tuned. I'll be doing the comparison between this and the new version in that haul video. Oh my gosh, you guys, this one right here. Whew. This is beautiful. This is a gorgeous blackcurrant fragrance. This has the entire C line has blackcurrant as the signature throughout in the opening. You guys know how much I love blackcurrant, the note blackcurrant. My mouth is watering, by the way. That's how much I love blackcurrant. This has ambroxan, or was it ambergris in the base, which lightens it up, gives it like a aquatic kind of marine freshness to this. There are other gorgeous notes in the middle. I'm not gonna go through all of it. You guys can Look it up. It's a stunning fragrance. It's something you can wear all year round if you want. Actually, any time of the day, but I recommend this. Even though the bottle looks dark, I recommend this for spring, summer. Works so well for spring, summer. But it is a fragrance you can wear all year round, any time of the day, which is why it's a perfect signature scent. This is Giorgio Armani Si Entrance. So next I have a fragrance from the house by Kilian. This is a love at first sniff. I was just blown away when I first smelled this fragrance. It's a flanker to the original. I love the original as well, but I love this so much more. It smells like a Middle Eastern orange blossom dessert with rose essence in it. You know how I describe it. That's how I always describe it. You guessed it. This is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. You guys, this fragrance is such a beauty. The original has like orange blossom, marshmallow, the honeysuckle, all that stuff like the original, but this one has a deepened or heightened rose note in here, which is what makes this very sophisticated, very much maybe classier than the original. It's hard to describe. It's sexy in a very beautiful like kind of way. It's a stunning fragrance, you know, like I said, same notes as the original almost, with a little bit of a difference in here. It's not the intense version of the original, but it's rather called extreme. Probably the extreme part comes from the fact that there is a heightened rose note. I did a comparison video between this and the original, comparing the two. Check that out. I'll link it up there and down in the description box. This is Kilian Love Extreme. Next I have another Kilian, which I think is a gorgeous fragrance. This is another beautiful, refreshing blackcurrant fragrance, you guys. There's a blackcurrant note in the opening of this fragrance, which makes it so beautiful. It's very girly. It's like a hot girl fragrance, you know. It's perfect for the summertime. It's like a hot girl summer kind of fragrance. This is none other than KilianLiaisons Dangereuses, you guys. Oh my God. Ooh, this has rose in it. This has blackcurrant. It smells very classy too, actually. Very sophisticated, but very sexy, very hot girl type of way, you know. Such a feminine fragrance. This is definitely not unisex. This has very juicy accords like plum and blackcurrant, peach. There's a coconut, I think, note in here as well. There's a beautiful rose note in here in the middle with geranium. There's sandalwood in the base, musk, vanilla. It's a beautiful fragrance. I'm not going to go through all the fragrance notes, but it's a hot girl kind of fragrance for summertime especially. This is Liaisons Dangereuses by Kilian. So the next one is one of the latest additions to my fragrance collection and one of the most expensive fragrances in my collection. This one is a gorgeous classic type of fragrance, you guys. This one is from a very reputed house that has been around for a long time. This is Krigler Lovely Patchouli 55 Night, you guys. It's not 55, it's rather 55 Night, which is even more intense, or like an intense version of the original. This one is even more, I guess, long lasting. The oil concentration in this is even higher, I think above 25% oil concentration, so it falls into the Entrance category. It's such a beautiful fragrance, you guys. It's obviously got a beautiful dose of patchouli in here, but don't be intimidated by patchouli, you guys. If you don't like patchouli, this is not your usual patchouli. It's a very beautiful patchouli in the composition. It's not an offensive kind of patchouli. It's gorgeous. Honestly, it's gorgeous. It's a very woody patchouli amber kind of fragrance. As you can tell by the juice, it's got a good dose of amber in here. A very big dose of vanilla too. I feel like they haven't revealed some of the fragrance notes in here. I smell something boozy, you know. It's a very like ambery, warm, spicy, woody patchouli type of fragrance. I smell some type of boozy in here. It's perfect for nighttime wear, I would say. It smells very expensive, something very beautiful and sweet and lovely about it. It really is lovely. It's a very lovely patchouli, not the regular kind of patchouli, you know. Like a lot of people don't care for patchouli because usually you know patchouli to be very earthy, kind of some people call dirty patchouli when the patchouli doesn't smell very good. That's not the patchouli that's in here. This is not a dirty patchouli. This is Krigler Lovely Patchouli 55 Night. Next fragrance is something my husband bought for me at one point. I forget, a little while ago. This is a whipped cream and sandalwood kind of fragrance, you guys. Oh man, imagine whipped cream and sandalwood. Ooh, so warm and so creamy and so comforting and so beautiful. This also has chestnut in it, which adds a nice nuttiness to this fragrance. This is none other than Zadig and Voltaire. This is her, you guys. I've loved this fragrance from the day I smelled it. It's got, by the way, musk as well. It's a very sexy kind of fragrance, but at the same time very edible, very creamy, very sweet, very cozy at the same time, very enveloping kind of fragrance. There's the sandalwood in here is so beautiful, especially with that whipped cream. It's obviously got a big lactonic accord from the whipped cream in this fragrance. It's very sweet, nutty. Yeah, I love this fragrance, you guys. I'll always love it. I'll always have it in my collection. This is perfect for winter time, in my opinion. Colder months, fall, winter, especially winter. You can wear this all day in winter, like from day to night. This is Zadig and Voltaire. This is her. I got only 3 more left, you guys. Almost to the finish line. Yay! Okay, so next I have something that I talk to death about. It's again another one of my go-to date night fragrances. It's very hypnotic, very narcotic, very bewitching. You know what I'm talking about. This is Dior Hypnotic Poison. Some people say this smells like a little bit like doll hair. I don't like to say that, you guys. Some people use the word plasticky. It doesn't smell plasticky. What they're trying to say is this special, unique scent that's in here. But plasticky isn't the way to describe it at all. There's nothing plastic about it. And doll hair is also not all that good of a description, really. I see what they're trying to say, but it's not really. I think the composition in here with that coconut, with the musk and the almond in here, you know, kind of made it have that kind of, that unique scent that we're all trying to describe. This is a white floral fragrance that has a big almond accord, which is very nutty. It has a little bit of coconut, like I said. There's a bunch of other notes. I'm not going to go over all of them. I believe there's sandalwood in here too. It is a very sexy date night kind of fragrance, perfect for winter time. In my opinion, best performance in winter, not even fall, in winter, I would say. Great for nighttime wear. I would say this is Dior Hypnotic Poison. Last two, you guys. Next I have a perfume from the house of Raja Parfums, you guys. I love Raja creations because that Raja DNA is very unique. You know, you smell a Raja perfume anywhere, you know that's a Raja fragrance, you know. So there's something very vintage but contemporary. It's kind of like he took the best out of the vintage fragrances and put a contemporary twist on it. And also they tend to be, especially female ones, the women's fragrances tend to be always beautiful and powdery, which I love. So this is, I would say, my favorite Raja fragrances out of all the ones I have. This is Raja Enigma Oud. This one is such a juicy, sort of fruity yet sexy powdery fragrance. You can wear this, I would say, perfect for spring, summer, especially summer. This would perform really well actually in hot weather. This would be such a beautiful, juicy fragrance to wear in the summertime. You can wear this on a daytime date or nighttime date. You can wear this like all day summer actually. I said juicy, but not that much from the fruity notes. Yes, there are juicy fruity notes like peach in here, but it comes from the freshness. The burst of freshness comes from the ambergris in the base, you guys. You know how much I love ambergris in fragrances. Really lightens it up, adds this marine aquatic freshness to fragrances. This has like a gorgeous rose note. There's ylang ylang. You guys know I love any fragrance with ylang ylang. And there's a bunch of like other florals like heliotrope. There are white florals in here. A bunch of really beautiful florals in the middle. And it has vanilla, sandalwood, all that stuff. there's Oud, obviously. This is Raja Enigma Oud. Last fragrance I have here is by Amouage. It's one of my favorites from the house of Amouage. This one was a love at first sight. I read some reviews where some people didn't like the projection, the strength of this fragrance with the florals in here, which I didn't understand. I think it's beautiful. This is none other than Amouage Blossom Love. You guys, this one is beast mode floral bouquet, really. This has cherry blossom in it. There's something very strong about the floral notes in here. There's a bunch of strong fragrance notes in this composition with the florals. It's a very boozy floral, you guys. There's an amaretto note in here, which I adore. I think it's a beautiful touch, which is why it's very strong. It feels like a floral punch, you know. That's because of the amaretto, which I think is beautiful. Like boozy floral, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as common, right? I mean, it's a very like a cherry blossom, boozy cherry blossom floral fragrance. There's other beautiful florals like ylang ylang rose and heliotrope in here. There's a massive dose of vanilla. There's tonka bean together with the vanilla. There's sandalwood. It's a bunch of just beautiful fragrance notes in here, you guys. This can be worn, I would say, all year round. It'll perform okay in summertime too, but it is a beast mode fragrance. So I would try to wear it the other months, not the summer. You can wear it in the summer, but I think it would be even better in the springtime. But you can wear it all year round, you guys. This is Amouage Blossom Love. So you guys, that's it. Those are my love at first sniff fragrances. They had me at hello, you guys. They were love at first sniff fragrances. I adore them. They will always be in my collection. If you want to feel and look more attractive, these are the fragrances for you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys, because it really helps my channel grow. If my channel grows, I can bring you bigger and better content. So it really helps me out. Subscriber count matters, you guys, for a creator. Please take a minute to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell too. That way you don't miss any of the notifications. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, you guys. I do a lot of announcements there, a lot of updates, a lot of fragrance posts. When I first buy them, I post them on Instagram first. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys in my next video.